being at a ministry.
I know.
We used to judge it.
The costume is pretty fun. I went last time.
Yeah, whenever
Louise were the judges, but I sat with them. It's pretty cute and fun.
Reverend Roger prayer portion. You've been down to the temple.
I drove by it this morning.
If you see a white Mercedes, silver sitting there in that spot, it's there. He is the tour director.
Okay. So they can take you on a tour now.
Preliminary.
Yeah.
They talked to Bob Markley. They're building a temple on it. Yeah. He told me they're building it to its 16th branch. Really? I said, Bob, you mean plus or minus? He said, no, Ron. I didn't say that.
That's tight.
Thanks for the text messages.
Yeah. Yeah, you bet.
Really do.
You bet.
Okay, the time is approximately 6 p.m., June 26, 2025. Farragut Board of Mayor and Aldermen will now begin. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and online. I want to thank you for your presence at tonight's Board of Mayor and Aldermen meeting. My name is Ron Williams, the fourth elected mayor of the town of Farragut. We appreciate that each of you has taken your time from your busy schedules to either attend or view tonight's meeting to see how our town government works. All Farragut Board of Mayor and Aldermen meetings are public notice per Tennessee state law. All board meetings are taken, minutes are taken and are available at a later date. Each meeting will be recorded. It can be viewed on the YouTube channel. If you're in attendance, you should be able to pick up a copy of tonight's agenda at the door when you came in. If you were not able to attend tonight and are viewing from home, then the agenda is available online and at our website. For those in attendance that would like to speak, please pick up a blue card at the door and write in your name and agenda number you wish to comment on. There will also be time reserved near the end of the meeting for citizens' comments on non-agenda subjects, which also require that you fill out a blue card with citizen comments at the time you wish to speak. On each agenda item, the mayor will ask the town recorder for residents' input. During this time, any Farragut resident wishing to speak to the board on that specific agenda item may do so for up to 3 minutes. After being recognized by the mayor, please go to the podium microphone in order to be heard and viewed by all. To conduct efficient business-like meetings, the town has adopted rules for how its meetings will be conducted. Primarily, these rules are designed to keep the meeting moving, assure that all points of view are heard and considered, and provide common courtesy to everyone. We ask that you observe the established meeting rules when addressing the board. At the beginning of your presentation, please state your name and address for the record. We ask that you address all your questions to the mayor or in his absence, the vice mayor. Do not direct questions to the alderman or staff members. If necessary, the mayor may call on alderman or staff members concerning your question or comments. Once you've given your input, please return to your seat so we can continue. We ask that every speaker avoid the use of improper language, profanity, or other inappropriate conduct and address issues, not individuals or personalities. Speakers should strive to avoid redundancy and have their own original viewpoints. Okay, we'll start tonight's meeting with a roll call by our town recorder for a quorum.
Alderman Burnett.
Here.
Alderman Kane.
Here.
Alderman White.
Here.
Vice Mayor Meyer.
Here.
Mayor Williams.
Mayor Williams here. Thank you, Allison. We do have a quorum. Now please join me by standing for a moment of silence for our veterans, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to our country's flag tonight, led by our scout troop. Thank you, Scouts, for attending tonight. Okay, do we have any agenda amendments?
No, sir.
None? If none, I'll ask for a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay. If in favor of approval, please say so by saying yes.
Yes.
Yes. Let the record show June 26, 2025. Agenda has been approved as posted. Next will be approval of minutes. Any amendments?
No, sir.
No amendments, and none. I'll ask for a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay. If in favor of approval, please say yes.
Yes.
Any noes? Let the record show the minutes have been approved as posted. Next, in the mayor's report, tonight's meeting will be probably one of the most important meetings that we have for the calendar year of 2025. It's important that we have civil discussion on all agenda items. I was told by one of my TML peers that I was the most lenient mayor in all the 345 municipalities in the state of Tennessee. That may be, but going forward, we'll not interrupt someone when we're having floor to speak. If they have the floor, it's their turn to speak. We will have respect for each speaker in all future meetings. Does any alderman have any questions concerning this? If not, we'll move on. Ordinances, we have two ordinances for public hearing and review. Ordinance 25-05 is an ordinance on the second reading to amend Chapter 2, Article 6, Finance and Farragut Municipal Code to add Section 2-300, competitive sealed bid proposals.
Yes, sir. TCA authorizes municipalities to use, under certain circumstances, the competitive sealed proposals to purchase goods and services. The procurement code shall provide that the competitive sealed proposal may be used only when qualifications, experience, or competence are more important than price in making the purchase. There are no changes between first and second reading, and the motion is to approve ordinance 2505 on second and final reading.
Move to approve. Second.
Okay. Resident comments?
No, sir.
We have none? Okay. Then I'll start discussion with Alderman White.
None.
Alderman Kane.
None.
Alderman Burnett.
No questions.
Vice Mayor.
Pass.
Okay, I don't have anything as well. Discussion closed. I'll ask Town Recorder for a roll call vote, please.
Alderman Burnett?
Yes.
Alderman Kane?
Yes.
Alderman White?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Meyer?
Yes.
Mayor Williams?
Mayor Williams, yes. Okay, let the record show ordinance 25-05 has been approved on the second reading by roll call vote, June 26th, 2025, at approximately 6:08 p.m. Ordinance 2510, an ordinance on the second reading to adopt annual budget for the town of Farragut for fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025, ending June 30th, 2026.
Mayor, thank you. At our last meeting, the board adopted a couple of amendments to the budget on first reading. We have three other minor amendments we'd like to also propose to the board this evening. Allison Myers has passed those out to you this evening. I'll walk through each one with you. They're all in the general fund. Some things that we realized we needed to include prior to and getting the FY26 budget approved. First is in traffic signal maintenance. That's actually a contract you're going to have on your agenda this evening. We need an additional $20,000 for ongoing maintenance of that item for next year. Also, our townwide fiber project, we're going to be doing an audit of that with the contractor we have recently approved to do for a total of $16,000. And then community development personnel, there was an error made in the class comp numbers that we ran earlier. We need to move it from one area to another, so we're adding $9,000 to that particular department to cover all the class comp expenses that we have for that. So a total of $45,000 to be added to the general fund under that item. So overall, revenues for general fund remain in FY26 of $17,817,804. We've got general fund expenditures now for FY '26 at $12,173,643. We've got State Street Aid Fund, proposed, staying the same at $2,205,000 with a fund balance of $2,291,516. Our Tourism Fund, remains at, FY '26 expenditures of $1,128,406 with a fund balance of $592,055. Our ARPA Fund, FY '26 expenditures are $1,213,764 with fund balance of $104,377. Our Equipment Replacement Fund, FY '26 expenditures are $585,000 with a fund balance remaining of $1,063,383. Our ADA Capital Projects Fund, FY '26, no expenditures required there, with a fund balance of $740,477. Our CIP fund balance, or excuse me, our CIP expenditures next year will be $17,402,000 with an FY '26 fund balance of $8,894,719. And finally, our insurance fund, FY '26 expenditures are $82,000, and our fund balance is $303,265. And so the motion would be to approve the ordinance 25-10 on second reading as amended, which is what was included in your packet that Allison just passed out to you prior to the meeting.
Okay, thank you, David. I'll need a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay. Resident comments?
No, sir.
None. Okay, we'll start off with, let's see who we did last. How about Alderman Burnett?
No questions at this time, Mayor.
Alderman White?
Just a short comment, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
A year ago, we voted for the budget, and I was a no vote. The reason being there was $500,000 within that budget for land procurement, which turned out, as everybody knows, to be a lawsuit, and now would be $500,000 to actually take somebody's property against their will. I wanted to vote, of course, for the budget and not vote for that, but we couldn't separate the two. And last week, or last meeting, the same thing occurred. We did not separate the two. So it's necessary for me to stay with my word and maybe with my beliefs that we should never take anybody's property. I will be forced to vote against the entire thing again, unfortunately.
Okay, sir. Is that all you got? Is that all you got? Yes, sir. Okay, thank you. Alderman Kane?
Last meeting, I was also a no vote due to some of the same reasons as Alderman White. When I came on this board just a little over a year ago, that was one of the things was we cannot do this kind of stuff to our citizens in this town. And I spoke as a candidate against this project back then. And there's a few other projects in the budget too that I can't believe we're having, they're in the CIP and we really have never had any kind of community input about them. So I will be a no vote also.
Okay, sir, thank you. Vice Mayor?
Pass.
Okay, in my case, I'll say that our discussion is closed, and I'll ask for a roll call vote, please.
Alderman Burnett.
Yes.
Alderman Kane.
No.
Alderman White.
No.
Vice Mayor Meyer.
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Mayor Williams, yes. Let the record show the ordinance 25-10 has been approved on the second and final reading by a 3-2 roll call vote on June 26th, 2025 at approximately 6:14 p.m. I want to thank all the folks who worked on this year's budget. It's probably the most important task that we have each other year, and it's a great job. We are very fortunate that we had the ARPA fund that has, if you're sitting in this building, you see what was involved with that, and it was a very big portion of what we had to get accomplished this year. So thank you again. Okay, resolutions, it looks like we do have two resolutions to review and consider for approval. Approval of Resolution R 2025-08, Town of Farragut Fund Balance Policy.
Yes, sir. The fund balance policy is intended to provide a guideline to ensure that sufficient reserves are maintained for unanticipated expenditures or revenue shortfalls. It's also intended to preserve flexibility throughout the fiscal year to make adjustments in funding for programs approved in connection with the annual budget. The primary changes between the existing policy and the revised policy is the first one is the title of treasurer has been removed and replaced with finance director to reflect the current organizational structure. Second, under the section titled Authority to Assign Funds, the maximum amount previously set was $20,000. This has been updated to $25,000, which is in accordance with the ordinance recently passed by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. The motion is to approve Resolution R 2025-08, the Town of Farragut Fund Balance Policy.
Okay, that would be David and Alex, okay. We have any resident comments signed up
sir.
for? We do not?
Nope.
Okay, I'll start off with the Vice Mayor. Alderman White.
Nothing.
Alderman Burnett.
No questions.
Alderman Kane.
No questions.
I have none as well. I ask for a roll call vote, please.
Alderman Burnett?
Yes.
Alderman Kane?
Yes.
Alderman White?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Meyer? Mayor Williams?
Mayor Williams, yes. The record show Resolution R 2025-08 has been approved as requested by roll call vote on June the 26th at approximately 6:17 p.m. Okay, next will be approval of Resolution R 2025-12, utilizing competitive seal proposals for enterprise planning systems.
Yes, sir. The Town of Farragut is initiating the process to acquire a new enterprise resource planning, also known as an ERP system, to improve the efficiency, functionality, and integration of its administrative and financial operations. Given the complexity of the ERP software systems and the need for both primary platform and multiple contributing vendors that are integrated into that platform, staff recommend that the qualifications, experience, and service of potential providers are greater than the importance of the cost alone. Therefore, a request for proposal process is recommended to be made for most appropriate method to acquire the ERP system. The motion is to approve Resolution R 2025-12, utilizing competitive sealed bids for enterprise resource planning systems.
Okay, Scott and Dave. Any resident comments on this?
No, sir.
None, okay. Discussion, Alderman White.
None.
Alderman Kane.
None.
Vice Mayor.
Pass.
Alderman Burnett.
No questions.
Okay, I have no questions as well. With discussion complete, I'll ask for a roll call vote, please.
Alderman Burnett.
Yes.
Alderman Kane.
Yes.
Alderman White.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Meyer.
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Mayor Williams, yes. Let the record show the Resolution R 25-12 has been approved as requested by roll call vote on June 26th, approximately 7:18 p.m. Okay, next will be business items. We have 5 items to review and consider for approval. I'll ask if the board wants to take a short break. If not, and we're good, okay, then we'll move on. Start off with approval of contract 2026-01 on-call road maintenance.
Each year, we advertise a request for bid proposals for the maintenance of our streets. Proposals are obtained for the various line items we typically see during the given year, and we recommend awarding to a contractor based upon their unit prices and their responsiveness if they've completed this contract in the past, as well as their ability to perform the required work. We received 2 bids from contractors on June 11th from PRI of East Tennessee and J.G. Mullins Construction Company. Based upon unit prices provided in their proposals, staff recommends award this contract to J.G. Mullins. Town has worked with Mullins in the past. We've always been pleased with their performance.
Okay,
Move to approve.
Second.
Scott. Okay, we got any resident comments on
No,
this?
sir.
We do not. Okay, discussion, Alderman White,
None.
Alderman Kane,
None.
Alderman Burnett,
No questions.
Vice Mayor.
Pass.
I have nothing as well. Ask if in favor, vote by saying yes. Any noes? None. Let the record show the contracts have been approved as requested. Next will be approval of contract 2026-04 on-call traffic signal maintenance.
Each year, we advertise a request for bid proposals for maintenance of our traffic signals. Proposals are obtained for various line items we typically see during a given year, and we recommend awarding to contractors based upon their unit prices and the responsiveness of their completed project in the past, as well as their ability to perform the work. We received 3 bid proposals on June 12th from Stansel Electric Company Incorporated, Progression Electric LLC, and Davis H. Elliott Construction Company Incorporated. We have worked with all 3 contractors in the past and found Stansel Electric Company to be the most responsive. Staff recommends award of contract 2026-04 to Stansel Electric Company.
Move to approve.
Alex, okay. Any resident comments on this one?
No, sir.
None? Okay. Discussion, Alderman White?
None.
Alderman Kane?
Yeah, I'd just like to compliment Daryl and his staff. At the last meeting, I asked him about in regards to traffic lights that were difficult to see at Campbell Station Road and Kingston Pike when you're in the left turn lane. And I noticed about 2 days later, they were all, you can clear and you can actually see it all the way down to Eddie Courtney Lane now. So thank you.
Okay. That is definitely an improvement, so. Vice Mayor?
Pass.
Okay. Alderman Burnett?
No questions.
I have none as well. I'll ask in favor, vote by saying yes. Yes. Okay, any noes? Let the record show the contract 2026-04 has been approved as requested. Okay, next will be approval of contract 2026-05, resurfacing various streets.
A critical success factor from the town's strategic plan is advancing a high-quality and well-maintained community. Each year, engineering staff examines our street networks and determines our priorities within the limits of our annual resurfacing budget. This year's contract includes the resurfacing of Campbell Station Road from Old Colony Parkway to approximately 1,200 feet north of Parkside Drive, North Williamsburg Drive, South Williamsburg Drive, Georgetown Drive, Boundary Lane, Crofton Lane, Rustgate Boulevard, North Monticello Drive, Weather Vane Drive, Hearthside Road, Turtle Creek Drive, Old Tavern Circle, Brooklawn Street, Ivy Lake Drive from Cottage Stone Boulevard to Stoneville Lane, and Admiral Road. Total length of resurfacing is approximately 10.1 miles. We received 3 bids. APAC Atlantic was $1.654 million, PRI was $2.465 million, and Duracap Asphalt was $1.96 million. APAC Atlantic has been awarded our resurfacing contract in the past, and we have been pleased with their performance. So staff recommends award to APAC Atlantic.
Okay.
To approve.
Second.
Okay. Scott and Alex. Resident comments?
No, sir.
None. Okay, discussion, Vice Mayor?
Pass.
Alderman Kane?
None.
Alderman Burnett?
I only had one question. You had Admiral Road up there.
Yes.
It's ringing like it echoes, but I'm just curious with Admiral Road potentially having something done in that area, does it make sense to go ahead and repave it if something could happen later that you had to tear things up and hurt, you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
I mean, we don't know what's gonna happen. I think the board's gonna have to obviously talk about that, but do we pave that before the board talks about and meets with the community to decide what they want in that area?
Yeah, and that's definitely something that we could discuss, and maybe replacing it with a different.
I mean, I don't wanna take something away from Admiral Road,
Right.
but I also don't wanna put it down and then 12 months later dig it up because
It's definitely in need of resurfacing, but again, it can definitely be discussed and revisited if need be. I totally understand that point.
Alderman, let us take a look at that, and we can certainly come back with another road that may be equivalent to this one to be able to do somewhere else in town.
And again, I don't want anyone living up there thinking I don't want their road paved. I just don't want it paved and then tore up if, yeah, twice. So that's all.
Good point, thank you.
None? Okay. I don't have anything as well. If you're in favor, please vote by saying yes. Yes.
Yes.
Any noes? Let the record show the contract 2026-05 has been approved as requested. Next will be approval of change order 3, contract 2024-09, stormwater infrastructure repairs.
Is this on, by the way? Because I couldn't hear. Yes, this is change order 3 for our stormwater infrastructure repairs project. Morgan Construction was awarded that contract last year. They have completed all of the work. But right now, what we're trying to do is to close out the project. Proper way to do that is to reconcile the actual quantities with the contract quantities. And that's what we're doing here. Earlier change orders 1 and 2, added $204,327.73. Change order 3 provides a credit of $185,717.31. That leaves a net change order cost of $18,610.42. Staff recommends approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay. Me, Scott, and Alex. Okay, discussion. Vice Mayor?
Pass.
Alderman Kane?
None.
Alderman Burnett?
No question.
Alderman White?
None.
Okay, I don't have anything as well on this one. They've done a good job, so it's, okay, if in favor of approval, vote by saying yes.
Yes.
Noes, let the record show change order 3 to contract 2024-09 has been approved as requested. Okay, next will be approval of Amendment 5 to the professional services agreement between the town of and Kimberly Horn Associates for additional design services for Union Road improvements.
Yes, this is Amendment 5 to our agreement with Kimberly Horn for development of the Union Road project. This project has been dragging along for quite a few years now. I feel like we've been buying right-of-way for 3 years. We recently met with probably the last tract owner on site back last month. They were a little upset that there was a possibility of losing some mature trees on the front of their property. We agreed to make some minor changes to the plans, move a driveway, change a construction easement a little bit, and hopefully ensure that those trees will survive. Unfortunately, plans changes always come with a cost. In this case, Kimberly Horn is requesting additional fee of $12,950 to make the changes. That would bring their total fee to $566,700. Staff recommends approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Scott, Drew, okay. Any residents signed up for
No,
this?
sir.
None, discussion. Alderman White?
No, sir.
Alderman Kane?
Nothing other than I'm glad you guys are gonna try to save trees.
Pardon me?
I'm glad you're gonna try to save those trees.
Alderman Burnett?
Yeah, I just wanted to say this is a great example of our town of Farragut, our staff working with homeowners who have a road being widened and greenway added and working with them to try and minimize the headache as much as possible. So for us trying to help them out and save some really mature trees. So thank you for working with the residents, and this is what we like to do, is continue to work with them throughout the whole project. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vice Mayor.
Pass.
Well, here again, go with what Drew just said. You know, this was a grant process on Union. So anytime we move things around, then we incur cost. So, but Kimley Horn's done a really good job with this, so thank you, Darrell. Okay, if in favor, vote by saying yes.
Yes.
Okay, noes, let the record show the Amendment 5 has been approved as requested. Okay, next will be citizen comments. Do we have anyone signed up?
No, sir.
We do not.
Oh, actually, sorry, we do.
Oh, okay.
We have one speaker. His name is Brian Walker.
Great job not interrupting.
You're right. No problem.
Yeah, Brian Walker, 408 East Kingsgate here in Farragut. If you know where Kingsgate Development is, it's across the street from Ingles, next to First Horizon Bank, up Peterson, my house. You go to the T-stop, you take a left, you'll drive directly into my house. Reason that's important, because last week someone tried to do that, actually. So I'm actually wanting to formally put a request in to look at putting a guardrail in that area where I'm at. It's a 90-degree turn, if you know, and you kind of go right. I've been there 4 years in that house now. I've had 3 cars jump that curb into my backyard. Let's put it that way. So it's kind of an area, and a lot of times the cars and trucks hit the trees that are there before they fall down a 15-foot embankment that goes down to the stormwater drain runoff. The other day, we had to take out 2 of those trees because this truck was so lodged in there that we had to do it. So that's where we're at. We can take a look. We can talk after the meeting. But I wanted to bring some positive attention to my neighbor. His name is Ryan Siddle. He actually works for the town of Farragut. So if you don't know who that is, he is my neighbor. Ran over there. I said, Ryan, I need your help real quick. Without a doubt, man, he put his shoes on. He ran out there. He was the one that cut down the trees with his chainsaw to get the truck out. And he also hooked up the guy's truck to the back of his tailgate and was able to drag the guy out with a chain and take him out of there. So, I mean, this guy was pretty lodged in there. It's still, the remnants are still there. So I don't know what the town of Farragut has for positive reinforcement for their employees, but I just want to recognize Ryan Siddell for his volunteering and just being there when he was needed. So that's all. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Say something? Can I say something?
Well, yeah.
Hey, Brian, are you asking for something? I mean, I know you were highlighting that, but, well, no, I mean, I say that because I grew up there, and for 20 years that I lived in there, that's a miserable, I mean, that's very dangerous. So whether it's, you know, some kind of safety protocol, I think I'm where you're headed, but what are you asking? Because I agree with you.
It needs to be looked at, because literally, like I said, I've had 3 people jump that thing, and a guardrail may be a possibility, maybe a higher embankment, something along the lines, maybe even higher signage that says slow down, you know, miserable. But something needs to be said there, because people just don't pay attention to that at all, you know. And 2 of those accidents have happened in broad daylight. One was a lady going to church on a Sunday morning, and of course this one happened like 2 o'clock last Thursday. So the other one was a midnight one. We didn't see that one. We saw the remnants of it, but they were pulled out by the time I woke up. So something needs to be either put there or whatever else, just to say, hey, slow down. There's a 90-degree turn, something like that.
Go right ahead.
I've been over there before in the daylight and in the dark, and it is pretty daunting. And if they have to keep cutting trees down, the next car that goes through there, it'll end up down the embankment. And I joked to Brian, and I said, man, it looks like you live next to a dormant volcano. So it would be a pretty drastic drop if they do end up getting through the trees.
Okay, thank you, Alex. Anybody else? No? No? Okay. Anyone else signed up? No, sir. No? Okay. Then we will move on to the town administrator's report.
Mayor, thank you very much. Couple things. One is the biggest event that we have all year long is our July 4th parade. That's happening next Friday. Right before that is the Farragut Freedom Run. That'll start at 9 o'clock in front of First Citizens Bank, and then at 9:30, the parade's going to start down Kingston Pike right there in front of Linden Welch Way all the way towards Ingalls. So I appreciate all of our staff, Ron Ostrike and his Parks and Rec team, everybody in the town that participates, because we have just about everybody from every department that helps out with this event, and all the thousands of people that come out and enjoy it. So we're looking to have a great day next Friday, and again, we really appreciate our team helping with all of that. The other thing I wanted to mention tonight is that we have several transfer requests that I wanted to bring up. These are the transfers from one line item to another within the same budgetary department. And so I'm going to have Allison Myers, our town recorder, walk you through these last remaining transfers for this fiscal year.
Yes, sir. Our first one's for Public Works. It's actually me from the Parks Department Vehicle Maintenance to Public Works Vehicle Maintenance for $15,000. We have $2,540 for Public Works Small Tools and Equipment, $800 for the tourism overtime wages, $1,491 for a benefit adjustment. That's multiple departments. We have $750 for community center overtime. We have $6,125 for community center shared personnel cost. And those are shared with the county. And then we have, for engineering, we have $15,000 for utility fiber locates, $1,200 for general government for professional services, $4,200 for the museum printing dues and subscriptions and other personnel issue, cost. We have $200 for Public Works crushed stone and sand. We have $5,000 for Public Works dumpster service, $2,000 for snow removal, $500 for Public Works supplies, and $5,200 for employee vehicle allowance. And that's all of them.
Okay, thank you, Allison. That's transparency at its finest. Next will be Town Attorney's Report.
No report tonight.
Report. Okay, then. The time is approximately 6:36 p.m. And without objection, June 26, 2025, Farragut Board Mayor and Aldermen meeting is now